What is Dave Filoni's thoughts on Ezra and Sabine's relationship? And what might his thoughts suggest about the future of that relationship? Well, before we get to that, I want to say I'm Mike, and I want to welcome you back to Force Within TV, where we're building a theory crafting Star Wars community, and we'd love you to join us by subscribing. But back on track here, how does Dave Filoni and the story group at Lucasfilm think about Ezra and Sabine's relationship? Could it have a future in the next animation series? Well, Carrie Beck suggested that the incredible thing about watching them grow up together as young people lost in a really big galaxy, and one of the strengths of their relationships is how they've grown, and how they've been able to see each other through. And they've both very much been taking lessons from Kanan and Hera, and that has shaped them into the people they are. You might not be able to control the world around you, but you can control how you treat other people and how you work with them. And I think their bond is so strong that there's no one else that he could rely on quite like her. Now, Carrie certainly doesn't come right out and suggest that there is a romantic relationship between Ezra and Sabine. However, that last line, there is no one else that he could rely on quite like her, could be interpreted to suggest they have a growing love for each other. Whether that love is a brother-sister love or a romantic love still remains to be seen. Certainly Dave Filoni seems to have his mind made up, though, about the two, or does he? Dave Filoni commented on the relationship saying, "It's been a varied thing, and I think everyone's knee-jerk reaction is to ship the two, because the two are similar in age and there is some type of gravity between them romantically. And I think it's very strong at this point to show boys and girls being friends and being supportive of each other. Everyone has their relationships, but it's not just something that had to be romantically dimensional." Now, certainly it seems like Filoni is killing all our hopes and dreams for the Ezrabine ship, but he does use the words "at this point," which does mean he hasn't completely killed our dreams. He is leaving it open for the future, which does mean that he hasn't completely killed our dreams. And I've always thought we would see Sabine and Ezra in the next animation series together, most likely in a relationship like Kanan and Hera. We should also consider that even though Filoni is pretty clear in this statement, he has misled us before with Kanan and Hera's relationship. It wasn't until season 4 that we actually see they are in a true relationship, despite the fact that early on Freddie Prinze Jr. had established on both Rebel Force Radio and Coffee with Kenobi podcast that it is not a will they or won't they, but we've already done that and we're past it. So clearly Filoni has kept us in the dark before about romantic relationships on his shows. It was definitely hard to tell what was going on between Kanan and Hera, and he didn't actually reveal the romance until it served the story late in season 4. Showing us Hera and Kanan's relationship, of course, led to an even more meaningful death for Kanan. There is also the point that the Hera and Kanan relationship took time to develop, as this excerpt from The New Dawn suggests. He obviously liked her starship. She could see as he walked around it. That was good. He was also smitten with her. She could tell, and she was all right with that too. She didn't want to tell him that her war had already begun, and that in war there was no time for anything else. He would probably understand eventually. At this early point in the timeline, Kanan really liked Hera a lot, but Hera really wasn't that interested. Doesn't that sound familiar? Remember season 1? Ezra was openly interested in Sabine, but she saw him as some kid. So maybe we will see similarities between Sabine and Ezra's relationship and Kanan and Hera's relationship. If you are a huge fan of Ezrabine, please hit that subscribe button, as this will be an ongoing series about these two characters we all love. So my theory crafting friends, let's finish with today's question of the day. Do you think Ezra and Sabine's relationship will it end tragically like Kanan and Hera's relationship? Let me know in the comments below, and may the Force be with you.